Hiya, it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today's video is as a result of a request I had to ask me how I watermark my photographs for my cards, because if you're going to put any photographs of your cards up on your Facebook page or anywhere up on the internet, you really need to make sure that it's properly watermarked, because sadly people do use these photographs and enter them into competitions or put them into magazines saying they're their own work and basically not crediting it back to you, and they may even get paid for those. So it's very important to do that. So this is how I do my watermarks. Now obviously I've already created my watermark, so I'm going to show you kind of how I did it from scratch, but we'll do kind of a simple version of it. First thing that you will need is something like Adobe Photoshop, so some sort of photo editing program. Now please bear in mind, obviously if you don't have absolutely the same photo editing program that I do, then things will look slightly different. So the first thing we do is we're going to open up a file. Now when I open up a file, I have a blank file here. Now I have a choice to set my background colour at this point to transparent, white, or a colour of my choice. As a general rule, as default, mine is set to transparent because that's what I prefer. And if you're doing a watermark, then you definitely do need to do that. You need it to be see-through, because otherwise when you drag it over your photograph, you're going to have like a white block or a coloured block, and that's going to cut out too much of the image behind it and kind of defeat the point of having a watermark. So I'm just going to grab a piece of size paper, A4 size. So we're going to open that up, and you can see on here on Photoshop it shows transparent as this kind of dots. So I'm going to use my text feature here. So where's it gone? There it is. And we're just going to click on that, and then we're going to click onto the page. So you can see there's a little flashy thing here that's for the page. Now you can make this as elaborate or as simple as you like. So obviously simple is just putting your name in some sort of fancy font or simple font, whichever you prefer. When you look at my photographs on my gallery on my website, you will see that I've put like a little butterfly, and there's I think sort of the shape of the font is a little bit fancy in places, just to give it a little bit more something to it. But you can easily just do it nice and simple. So just for here, I'm just going to put Lolli Lulu Crafts, and I'm going to then double click on that. And so we've got the font, and I'm just going to grab the corner, whoops, just make it a bit smaller. You could have done that by just changing the font size, but it's just as quick to do that. So the next thing you want to do is decide what colour font you want. Now what I did for mine was I did a black and I did a white, two versions, and that's simple. You just save it twice. You just highlight it and change the colour of your font. So let's do the black. The reason I did both was because on some images the white will pop out better, and on others the black will stand out better, so it's quite handy to have both colours. So then the next thing and the final thing we really need to do on this is just cut around using our crop tool like so, and then just click the yes button in this case. So now we've got just a reasonably tight filled font acting as our watermark. And if we wanted to at this point, you might want to add say a little bit of extra text here. Okay, so change that down to say 18, and then maybe put created by, and this is when you can start playing around with the design a little bit more. I think I'll leave that just nice and simple now, like that, and that will be my watermark. So what we now need to do is we need to save this as an image file. At the moment this is a Photoshop file, and probably whatever photo editing software you use, it will be a file in that software's version of a file. We need to save it as an image. Now in order to keep our transparent background, we need to save it in what's called a PNG file. It's like your JPEG, it's a similar thing, but the JPEG will create a background, and we don't want to do that. We've spent a lot of effort trying to make sure it's a transparent background, so we want to keep that. So all you do is, instead, you don't do save, you do save as, and then here where it says format, and as I said, it may be slightly different layout, but essentially where it says format, we're going to just click on PNG, and then we will save that as EGWM for example watermark, just so I remember what I'm doing, like so. Okay, so that is now saved as our PNG file, and then we are going to open up a photograph of a card. So opening it using our Adobe options, so opening into the Adobe. So then what I do when I'm in Photoshop is I'm on my card here, and then I open up the photo bin at the bottom. So basically you want to open up where you can see both images, and then you just grab hold of this one and you drag it over on top of your card, and you can see now how the transparent background comes into play. Now obviously we don't want it as big as this, and this actual card is probably a prime example of when you'd want a white lettering, but anyway, then you're going to shrink it to size, and you're going to pop it somewhere which is not going to be able to be cropped out, so down in the corner, but big enough that it will get in the way. They can't just crop it out, or in this case, look, it's across the ribbon. Now it doesn't really interfere with your pleasure of looking at the card, but you don't want something where they can crop it out. It's really as simple as that. It's just creating a transparent background on a text format, and maybe if you wanted to add any little pretty sort of clip art, as I've said, I've got like a little butterfly I think on mine, then that would be great, and I'd recommend doing it in black and white. And then all you do is open your image, sort it out to how you want it, so if any adjustments like lighting, etc., and then just drag your PNG file that you've saved across into your image. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, just hop onto the website on the message me section and pop a question over to me. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!